StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Hello, Namaskar, Namaskara, Namaskaram, Namaskar. My name is Pooja Divedi. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. In these classes, we learn the past events of the 24 hours in such a manner that we are able to handle the prelims examination. I expect all of you to be very attentive in this class. Please do not waste your time in making notes because I provide you the PDF. We have to prepare smartly. Hard work plus smart work. So this hard work I am doing for you. I am curating the news, putting all the important information that is not found in the books and providing you the PDF. But smartly, what do we have to do? We have to pay attention to each and every class. What I tell you over here is very important. So be very mindful in whatever I am saying here. Okay? The PDF will be provided on my channel, StudyIQ Pooja Divedi, StudyIQ UPSC. And if you have any doubts or queries, you can talk to me on my Instagram as well. So these are the many events that we have to cover today. We have a lot to learn today. Let's enjoy the process. First question, let us see what is that. With respect to the Defence Acquisition Council, consider the following statements. It is headed by the Defence Minister and also consists or comprise of the Minister of Home Affairs and Minister of External Affairs for better coordination. It was created after a serious lax was found after the aftermath of Indochina War, and its acceptance of necessity is the first step towards procuring military equipment. So what do we have to see? How many statements given above is or are not correct? Alright. So first, let us talk about Defence Acquisition Council. This is the highest decision-making body when it comes to procurement of military equipments and deals. And it is headed by the Raksha Mantri or the Minister of Defence. But it does not consist of the Ministry of Home Affairs or the Ministry of External Affairs. That makes the first statement to be incorrect. So sometimes when you have not revised anything properly, you can easily get tricked by these particular statements. Defence Acquisition Council is getting more and more important by each passing day because of the importance of Atmanirbharta in defence sector. So that is why you have to know about this. It wasn't created after the aftermath of Indochina War, when serious lacks and loopholes were found during the Kargil War, 1999. Then it was decided by a group of ministers that we should have a dedicated body for institutional memory and procurement of military equipments. Institutional memory means that it should not be done in a haphazard manner. We bought that. It should be properly institutionalized, that if any sort of issues occur, we have proper database for it. And so that Defence Acquisition Council was created. So first statement is incorrect, second is also incorrect. What is acceptance of necessity? It is basically a point of time when it is decided that an imminent danger is there and we need to procure certain hardware of military so that we can tackle the crisis. Or the crisis, if it is going on, during that period also, an acceptance of necessity can be passed on that matter. So for the first step towards procurement of military goods, acceptance of necessity is the very first step. I hope you understood that. So first is incorrect, second is incorrect, third is definitely correct. Not correct ones we had to select, so two only will be the correct answer over here. Defence Acquisition Council has approved the procurement of 26 Rafale marine aircraft. Now we had the aircraft for the Indian Air Force, that was 36. We acquired 36 Rafale, Dassault Rafale aircrafts back in 2016 when we signed the deal with France. And after that, we could see that yes, it is working well for us. Now we need marine aircrafts. Why? The biggest reason here is Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific. Right now we have 2 aircraft carriers. We are going to talk about those as well. So for those, we need aircraft, we need marine jets. Because marine jets are very different from the jets that are used by the conventional air force for many reasons. That is why we need a dedicated force for marine jets. Now, before I go on with the class, I would like to inform you that we have started our prelims to interview batches, and the next batch that we are launching is of the evening batch, and that will start from 22nd of July at 6 p.m. If you have missed out on the last 2 batches, we have very less time left. So please take admission in this batch. You will get everything. The classes will be live, study materials, prelims test series, mains test series, daily answer writing practice, which is very important for you to develop. Other than that, one-on-one mentorship, mains residential program is the USP. That is, if you are going to qualify prelims 2024. you need a dedicated, enriched program for mains examination. We will call you to the StudyIQ main campus, where you will prepare for this examination without any distraction. Lodging facilities will be provided. It is just for rupees 29,999. This is the discounted price that I'm telling you. Investment is meager. If you are going to put the code PD Life, please do it. PD Life, then you will get it for 29,999 only. Now, the Defense Acquisition Council, as I said, is the highest decision-making body of the Defense Minister on procurement. Okay, that means buying things, procurement. And after the Kargil war, we could see that we did not have proper equipments. Why? Because we did not have a dedicated force for it. So, a group of ministers' recommendation gave birth to this back in 2001, and it was effective from 2002. Okay, the chairman of the council is Defense Minister. Other than him, all the other members include Chief of Defense Staff and Chiefs of Army, Navy and Air Force for better coordination. And it is expected to ensure expeditious procurement of approved goods, military hardware specifically, build institutional memory, and also negotiations. So everything is taken care of when it comes to procurement by the Defense Acquisition Council. It has also been given rights to give in principle approval. In principle means the concept has been approved of any procurement of a 15 years long-term integrated perspective plan of defense forces. Other than this, it makes an accord of acceptance of the necessity for proposal when it comes to procurement. Categorization has also been done. There are 3 categories specifically: buy and make, and make. In these categories only, it makes sort of decision. Buy means to buy from another country. Buy and make means to buy some technology or hardware from another country but manufactured in India. And then there is make, that is make in India. Okay. It entertains the subjects related to single vendor clearance as well. Council takes decision on offset provision in respect of acquisition proposal which is above rupees 300 crore, where the supplier is expected to invest in the local industries as well. And the transfer of technology under the buy and make category of acquisition proposal is also there. Okay, so remember that. DAC's acceptance of necessity is the first step towards procuring any military equipment, hardware, arms, jets. And after this, the concerned procure department of proceed with the deal under DPP 2016. The make procedure has been made much more clearer in order to do indigenization of defense sector. That means to make in India. A separate category has been created, which is by Indian IDDM, indigenously designed, developed and manufactured. And this has been given the highest priority among all of the other categories. Consider the following statements. Naval fighter jets are often smaller and lighter than their Air Force counterparts. Statement 2 says, the size of an aircraft carrier deck is limited. If you have read perfectly and in depth about naval fighter jets, because we are procuring Rafale naval jets, then you can easily answer this question. This is a concept question, not just fact. Take your time, absorb these 2 statements and try to understand how conceptually oriented I have formulated this question. We have to remember by concept that even if by intelligence I ask you that the aircraft of the jets or aircraft of the Air Force have a longer runway as compared to the ships. Ships have a shorter runway. And because the landmass of the land on which the Air Force puts its aircrafts is very different from the ships. So that is why naval jets have to be made lighter and also smaller. So that is why that makes the statement first correct. And aircraft carriers, they have a smaller deck. Deck is the runway. And on that only, these jets can slide by and fly. So that is the reason, biggest reason, that because the size of an aircraft carrier deck is small, limited, we have to make the naval fighter jets smaller and lighter in size. So both the statements are correct. And statement 2 is correctly explaining the statement 1. Other than this, I can also give you another reason why they are lighter and smaller. Because they have to conduct their operation over a limited area as compared to the Air Force. And that is why their capabilities, without being compromised, they are made smaller. just oceanic waters they have to take care of. Because of the different environment of the ocean, we have to make different sort of aircraft, and that is why they are made smaller and lighter. But here statement 2 is correctly explaining statement 1. So both the statements are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. See, right now India has 2 aircraft carriers. We are still working on the third one. We have INS Vikrant and INS Vikramaditya. These are aircraft carriers. That means they can carry fighter jets on their deck. And INS Vikramaditya is the operational one, which we procured from Russia, and it has very important capabilities like advanced air defense system. It has a ski jump deck to launch aircrafts. This is a ski jump deck. It is a raised deck so that more efforts can be given to the aircraft to jump up. Okay, and it has the capability of carrying over 30 aircrafts, fighter jets, helicopters, airborne early warning aircraft as well. Now the problem is that Rafale Marine and FA-18, they are better suited for Kato bar, and India doesn't have Kato bar as of yet. Kato bar and stow bar. Kato bar actually consists of catapult system. Catapult system through which we can attach the aircraft with the aircraft carrier. And once we launch them, we have to recover them also, right? So that they can easily come back to the deck. So these are Kato bar. Right now we do not have any. We are still in the process of it. Okay. So as I already told you about this, let's move forward. See, naval fighter jets, they have to take care of many things in the marine environment. They have high impact landing on the deck. They have catapult or ramp launches capabilities. They have to deal with corrosive saltwater environment of the ocean. So that is why they have to be built differently. That is why we cannot use the Air Force's jets. And because they want reinforced landing gear, stronger airframes are needed. That is why we have to develop it differently. Also, they have folded wings to facilitate storage. They, in order to be stored on the deck, on the aircraft carrier, should have folded wings. But this doesn't compromise their capability because we have proper refueling capacity so that they can maneuver easily. Okay. So due to the limited size of the aircraft carrier deck, it is imperative that we make them smaller and lighter, and they have typically they have a shorter range of operation. That is why as well. But in-flight refueling capabilities can help mitigate these shortcomings. Consider the following. Dry weather helps in saving fuel and provides velocity. These 3 are the factors I am telling you. Now we have to see how many of the above mentioned factors are a reason to choose Sriharikota as the launch pad by ISRO. We have launching facilities at Sriharikota. We want to make more, but Sriharikota stands first. Why? We will talk about that, but let's first of all try to engage the first 3 factors. Most of the time, as it is situated in such a weather condition, most of the time it remains dry. And that helps a lot when it comes to the launching of different rockets and different payloads. So first is definitely a factor. Second, as the Sriharikota region is closer to the equator. Equator is very important whenever we are launching objects which are geostationary in nature. Most of the satellites which we launch are geostationary. They have to go on the equator and then they will take care of the operations. So second, that is the reason when it is closer to the equator, we need lesser fuel to send these jets out of the space, out of the Earth atmosphere. So that is why second factor is also correct. Also, we have to understand that the Earth rotates from west to east, and when we are going eastwards, it increases the velocity of the jets that we are launching, of the rockets that we are launching. And velocity is the highest at equator, negligible at the poles. So for that very reason, it also provides velocity. So these are the 3 important reasons. Many are there, but the 3 most important reasons why we have chosen Sriharikota. So 1, 2, 3, all 3 are correct. This is purely a conceptual question and an intriguing question. if you are just studying it without any sort of interest, you won't be able to find out these sorts of questions coming into your mind. Why Sriharikota? Why not the western coast? Okay, all these are the things that we have to take care of. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, all three will be the correct answer. Now, first is of course the equator equation. As it is nearer to the equator, Sriharikota provides a lot of chances to save fuel, because once we are closer to the equator, it is a very but obvious thing that when we are closer to the distance, we will need lesser fuel. Also provides a lot of velocity because of the sheer location it has. As the earth rotates from west to east, it provides velocity to the rocket. Hence, that also helps us in saving fuel. Other thing is that I have already told you all this. Now, it is situated at the east coast, which is having access to Bay of Bengal. In case any issue happens or the rocks and debris fall from the rockets, then what can happen? That they can easily be falling into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so we need to ensure that we also stay away from human habitation. Sriharikota is one such place. Other than this, it is a barrier island, so it engages us with security as well. You must also be thinking, why not go further south if these are the many reasons. Because we have our friend Sri Lanka over here. We do not want any sort of untoward thing happening to Sri Lanka if debris starts falling from the rocket. So these are the many reasons, although we are thinking about other launching pads as well. Consider the following pairs. We have to match the country and the state honors given in them. Order of the Zayed Award, Ibakal Award, Fiji. Order of the Zayed Bahrain, Ibakal, Fiji. Order of St. Andrew Award, Russia. And Companion of the Order of Logu, Papua New Guinea. Recently, the Prime Minister of India has received many state honors, and it could be asked in your examination about them. Okay, so you have to remember which award is given or conferred upon by which country. So, how many pairs given above is or are correctly matched? See, Order of the Zayed Award is conferred by the UAE and not Bahrain. Okay. Then we have Ibakal, which was recently awarded. It is from the Republic of Palau and not Fiji. Order of St. Andrew, rightly so, is conferred by Russia. And Papua New Guinea also conferred on the Prime Minister the Companion of the Order of Loghu. So first is incorrect, second is incorrect, third and fourth are correct. Two only will be the correct answer. See, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on an official visit to France and he has received the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor, which is France's highest honor. He is also the chief guest of the Bastille Day, which is the national day of France. Today is the Bastille Day. Bastille was a fortress, and when it was actually mobbed by the general crowd of France in order to show their dislike for the monarchy, that is why it gets its name Bastille Day. Okay. See, these are the many state honors that have been given to the Prime Minister. And as I told you that, yes, many are there. Order of Zayed Award by UAE. Okay, remember it. And Ibakal given by Palau. Papua New Guinea, Companion of the Order of Logu. Russia, Order of St. Andrew Award. So from Egypt we have the Order of Nile. Saudi Arabia gives Order of Abdulaziz Al Saud. Then Bhutan gives or confers Order of the Druk Gyalpo. Palestine gives Grand Collar of the State of Palestine. I have told you about these two. Afghanistan gives or confers State Order of the Ghazi Amir Amanullah Khan. Remember that. Then Maldives, Order of the Distinguished Rule of Nishan Izzuddin. Bahrain provides King Hamad Order of the Renaissance. USA, Legion of Merit. Then Fiji, Companion of the Order of Fiji. So, as of yet, Order of the Nile was the 13th state honor that was given to the Prime Minister in his 9-year tenure. And the current one which has been given by the France, which is the Grand Cross of Legion of Honor, is the 14th state honor. Okay, remember that. Moving on. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener. Sold in the market, it consists of amino acid and provides calories like other amino acids. Yet it is used as a low-calorie sweetening agent in the food items. What is the basis of this use? This question is an erstwhile question. That means it's a previous year question of 2011. And aspartame still remains relevant because it has been found out that a quantity beyond the threshold of certain limit is carcinogenic. That means if you get too much aspartame, you can get cancer. Okay, so now we have to see what are the options. See, these are the many options, but if you can just look out for certain important features, you can easily answer this question. We have to remember that aspartame is much more sweeter than sugar, and by just using a small quantity of it, we can get the sweetening like that of sugar. So that makes first statement to be incorrect, because aspartame is as sweet as table sugar. No, the first line of this particular statement makes the first option to be incorrect. When aspartame is used in food processing, the sweet taste remains, but it becomes resistant to oxidation. This is also incorrect. Aspartame is as sweet as sugar. Again, the first particular line only is incorrect. Aspartame is several times sweeter than sugar. This is definitely correct. Hence, food items which are made with small quantities of aspartame yield fewer calories on oxidation. This is correct. Option D. So, a World Health Organization's committee has categorized aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans beyond a threshold, although some say that there is no need to reduce the artificial sweetener level in your daily diet. But if you're still consuming aspartame, you can get lifestyle disease like diabetes, BP, all these, okay? It is used widely in packaged products like diet soda, sugar-free, no or low calorie, no, low or zero sugar, and it is an odorless powder which is approximately 200 times sweeter than sugar. But as it is used in a low amount, then it can definitely lead to lesser calorie intake. It is made up of aspartic acid and phenylalanine, okay? And aspartic acid is generally produced in our bodies, but this we get from consuming other foods. And both are naturally occurring amino acid, as I told you, that this generates in the body itself, and they are known as the building blocks, as in protein are known as the building blocks. So it is found in chewing gum, toothpaste, instant coffee, cold beverages, ice creams, etc. Okay. My personal suggestion would be to reduce all this, because it is being seen that diabetes in India is raising at an alarming rate. First of all, in our diets, right now we do not have millets and the traditional food that India was supposed to have still. We are a generation that is dependent on Swiggy and Zomato. So we have to reduce our dependence on this, because pharmaceutical industries are very happy that it is happening. As a generation who is much more dependent on such foods and lesser movement is there, because most of us have desk job, we have to ensure that even if we are not able to exercise, which we should take care of our food items. So don't do it. Moving on. Other sweeteners also include saccharin, acesulfame, potassium, sucralose, neotame, and advantame. So if it is asked in your prelims examination, what are these? Remember, these are artificial sweeteners. Sometimes UPSC can give you the names and just ask you what are all these. Okay. Consider the following statements with respect to sunspots. They develop due to high magnetic activity on the surface of the sun. Sunspots increase and decrease through an average cycle of 11 years, and the sun has never went through a period of near zero sunspot activity. So how many statements given above is or are not correct? These are not given in any book. If you're reading current affairs on a daily basis, then you can answer this question. Why do I say this? Because in the current paper, the Prelims 2023 paper, many students asked us that, ma'am, from where did the question got framed? Because we couldn't find it in any books. Now books, only and only books won't help. You have to depend on current affairs a lot, because these will take you back to the basics. Okay, so sunspots, we are going to answer this question, but how many statements is or are not correct? We have to look at from that perspective. Sunspots are regions on the sun because of reduced heat or reduced temperature, they occur darker, and it is related to magnetic activities. When there is a high magnetic activity on the sun, it is able to reduce the atmospheric pressure surrounding it, and because of the magnetic activity, this is the sun and this is the sunspot. Because of the increased magnetic activity, the heat from the beneath of the sun's surface is not able to reach this region. And when there is lesser heat than the surrounding area, it will become cooler. And when that becomes cooler, what happens? That the other area which are still hotter, they make it appear more darker. So this region which will appear darker because of the prohibition of heat due to increased magnetic activity, this will be known as umbra. Okay, umbra. And the surrounding region will be penumbra. So first statement for that very matter is correct. It is related to magnetic activity. And there is a cycle, solar cycle of 11 years where sunspots increase and decrease. Currently, we are in the 25th cycle that started from the year 2019. So these kind of news will come. And the sun has went, actually it has went where there was near zero sunspot activity. And that has also impacted the climate on the earth. So we have to remember all these things. First is correct. Second is correct. But third is not correct. Not correct, we had to select one only will be the correct answer. See, a sunspot which has been identified by the name Sunspot 3363. It has been spotted on the surface of the sun. And the thing is that it is visible without the telescope. Generally it is not, but it is visible without the telescope and it will still remain visible for certain days. It has been visible since July 6, 2023. These are areas where the magnetic field is about 2500 times stronger than the Earth's. And this sunspot was of the size of the Earth. We are calling it a spot, an entire Earth can fit there. Because of the strong magnetic field, the magnetic pressure increases and the atmospheric pressure decreases. And it lowers the temperature which is relative to its surrounding. And when that happens, this particular diagram will help you. This is the spot which is darker, it is umbra, and the surrounding area, because they are much hotter than umbra, these become more brighter, that is penumbra. Okay. And also we have to remember that sunspots tend to occur in pairs. They come in pairs they have magnetic fields pointing to opposite sides. And I've already told you this. So let's move forward. Sunspots increase and decrease through an average cycle of 11 years. Dating back to 1749, we have experienced 24 full cycles, and the current solar cycle is the 25th, which began in 2019, and the activity will be remaining at the maximum by the year 2025. And one interesting aspect of this cycle is when that the sun also went through a period of near zero sunspot activity, where almost no sunspot could be found. That was between 1645 to 1715, and this period was known as Maunder minimum. And when Maunder minimum occurred, Earth's little ice age also occurred at the same time. So there is a correlation. Scientists are working on it. Now, let's talk about sports, because UPSC has started to love sports as well. Which of the following countries is the venue for the Asian Athletics Championship? Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is Thailand. See, Asian Athletics Championship is being held in Bangkok, Thailand. India has so far won 3 gold and 3 bronze medals. And India's Jyoti Yaraji, she earlier won gold in 100 hurdles, whereas 100 meter. Abdullah Abu Bakr won the gold in the men's triple jump. Ajay Kumar Saroj in men's 1500 m. These are factual questions. Tejaswin Shankar won the bronze medal in long jump. Abhishek Pal and Aishwarya Kailash also won bronze medals. Okay, and with this, India has been placed on the 3rd spot. First is of course China, and beyond that we have Japan. The World Health Organization's Global Center for Traditional Medicine is situated in Vadodara, Gujarat, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, or Jamnagar, Gujarat. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is Jamnagar, Gujarat. See, a conference on traditional medicine is set to take place on July 20th in New Delhi with ASEAN countries, because we have cultural relations, and according to World Health Organization, the World Health Organization says that 80% of the world's population is dependent on traditional medicine. So in India, it is often defined as including practices and therapies. Both practices and therapies are a part of it. Like we have Unani, Yoga, Ayurveda, Siddha. And Ayurveda and Yoga, these are practiced widely across not only in this particular country, but now the world. The Siddha system is predominant in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and the Sova Rugpa system is prominent in Leh Ladakh, Himalayan regions such as Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Darjeeling, Lahore and Spiti. Okay. So it was asked also about Sova Rugpa in UPSC examination. See, the World Health Organization established the Global Center for Traditional Medicine in Jamnagar, Gujarat in the year 2022, although the proposal was given in 2020 to support the efforts to implement WHO's strategy on traditional medicine between the year 2014 and 2023. And as WHO says that 80% of the world's population is dependent on it, India has committed an estimated $250 million to support this establishment. Okay, so I hope you understood these many topics well. I will come up again with many other topics tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. Also subscribe to the TG channel for the PDF. Thank you.
StudyIQ IAS. अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।